Nobody knows what happened to her, where she is. Nobody does, and it's pretty terrifying. Hey, welcome to the Deep Dive. My name's Aaron.
And I am Ashley.
And today we're going to unpack a really unsettling case. The disappearance of Mackenzie Lueck.
Yeah, it happened right after she landed in Salt Lake City. She was coming back from her grandmother's funeral.
It's just awful.
Yeah.
We're going to piece together what happened using details from a true crime documentary that covered this horrific story.
And it's a case that really, it just chills you to the bone. It shows how quickly things can go wrong and, you know, how deceptive some people can be. Mackenzie Lueck, from everything we know, she was just this bright young woman, so much potential.
Absolutely. Everyone said that. Warm, vibrant, grew up in California, really close with her family.
Especially her grandmother, right?
Exactly. Her grandmother meant a lot to her. So when she passed away, this was June 2019, Mackenzie flew right back for the funeral. No hesitation.
Shows how close they were.
Totally. And she kept in touch with friends while she was there, sharing updates. So Sunday night, June 16th, she heads back to Utah.
Back to her life there. She was studying kinesiology.
Yeah, at the University of Utah.
Yeah.
Big plans. Graduate in 2020, maybe nursing school, maybe med school.
Wow. Ambitious.
Very. She was working, too, at a biological testing lab. And she was in a sorority. Just, full life. Future looked really bright.
Clearly driven, had good people around her, which makes what happened next just devastating.
It really does. So, it's just after 1:30 in the morning, June 17th. Her flight lands in Salt Lake City.
And she does what most people do, right? Lets her family know she's safe.
Exactly. Texts her mom. Landed okay. Then about an hour later, 2:42 a.m., she gets a Lyft taxi.
Okay. Standard procedure so far.
But here's where it gets strange. Instead of heading home, she tells the driver to go to Hatch Park.
Hatch Park. Not her place.
No. It's about a 20-minute drive away. She gets there, tells the driver she's meeting a friend.
Meeting someone at a park at nearly 3 a.m.
Right. The driver said she didn't seem, nervous or scared. Just got out, wheeled her suitcase over the grass.
And met someone.
Yeah, someone waiting in another car. And that Lyft driver, that was the last person confirmed to have seen Mackenzie Lueck alive.
Wow. Just like that. And, seeming comfortable doesn't mean she was safe.
Not at all. Appearances can be so deceiving.
And that deviation, not going home, that's a huge red flag right there. Investigators would have picked up on that immediately.
And that deviation, leads us straight to Allah I.
Okay, who's Allah I?
Mackenzie and him had connected some months before on Seeking Arrangement.
Ah, okay. That website. Controversial platform.
Yeah. Apparently her friends kind of knew she used it, saw her as, independent about it, but they had no idea about I.
The danger he posed.
Exactly. Because on the surface, he looked accomplished. Originally from Nigeria, green card IT jobs with big companies.
Even served in the Army National Guard for a bit. Sounds pretty normal.
Seemingly normal. But that highlights this pattern you sometimes see, right? People with harmful intentions building this facade.
Absolutely. It's a classic manipulation tactic. Build trust, seem normal, gain access.
But when you start digging, warning signs pop up. Big ones. Back in 2012, he got kicked off the Utah State University campus.
Kicked off? Why?
Visa problems and a theft investigation. He came back briefly in 2015, but never actually graduated from his computer science program.
Okay, so not quite the accomplished image then.
Not quite. And then 2018, he self-publishes a novel, Forge Identity.
A novel? About what?
It involved a teenager committing violent crimes. And chillingly, really chillingly, there were scenes where victims were burned after being murdered.
Burned victims.
Oh.
Wow, that's specific and deeply disturbing. Even in fiction, that's a major red flag. It can show preoccupations.
It gets even more unsettling. Just 2 months before Mackenzie vanished, a contractor comes forward.
With what?
I asked him to build a secret room, soundproof, under his front porch.
A secret soundproof room?
Yeah. Wanted it fast, no windows, hooks on the walls, and a biometric fingerprint lock on the door.
Hooks. Fingerprint lock. What possible reason?
His excuse. He told the contractor it was to hide alcohol from his Mormon girlfriend.
That doesn't sound convincing at all. Did the contractor do it?
No way. Thankfully, he got a really bad feeling and refused the job. Just felt wrong.
Smart man.
And incredibly, another contractor, a different one, also said II approached him around the same time, April. Same request.
Another request for a hidden soundproof room.
Yes, behind a secret door this time. Stress it was urgent, money no object.
Okay, this is escalating. Repeated requests, specific disturbing features.
Right. If you're finding this deep dive into these unfolding details, as gripping as we are, maybe take a moment and subscribe to my channel, Dead Quiet Crime Podcast. We do more in-depth explorations like this.
These requests, they're just enormous red flags. The soundproofing, no windows, the hooks, the lock. The excuse is flimsy. It screams premeditation.
And the fact both contractors refused says a lot about how unnerving it was.
Yep.
Then there's another layer, a house cleaner. She later confirmed I's place was full of surveillance cameras.
Surveillance? Where?
Especially in the bedroom, apparently. And of course, Mackenzie knew nothing about this.
Of course not. Hidden cameras.
And here's the really sinister part. By the time she met him at Hatch Park that morning, he'd already disabled his home security system.
Disabled it before she arrived.
Yeah.
So the secret room plans, the cameras, disabling the security. It's a terrifying picture. It points directly to a carefully laid plan. Malicious intent, absolutely.
So Mackenzie's family, they hadn't heard from her since that text to her mom around 2 a.m. Monday morning.
And at first, maybe they thought she was just busy settling back in.
Yeah, initially. But then she missed a midterm exam.
Okay, that's unlike her.
Didn't feed her cat, which she adored.
Oh, no.
And then she was supposed to go to a wedding in California. Really looking forward to it. Didn't show up.
That's when the panic must have set in.
Completely. The alarm bells were definitely ringing loud by then. Her father, Greg Lueck, he made a desperate 911 call.
You can only imagine how worried he was. Missing exams, the cat, a wedding. For someone responsible like Mackenzie, that's not normal.
Not at all. On that call, her dad explained, no contact since she got back from LA early Monday. Just totally unlike her not to return calls.
Phone going straight to voicemail.
Straight to voicemail. Her friends were frantic too. Her sorority sister, Kennedy Stoner, talked to the media. Said Mackenzie was heartbroken about her grandma, yes, but vanishing, never. Just wouldn't happen.
So the police get involved. What do they do first?
They start searching, retracing her steps. Airport surveillance confirmed she got her suitcase.
And the Lyft driver.
From dropping her at Hatch Park. Said she got into the other car willingly. They seemed to know each other like casual greetings.
Okay, so she knew the person she was meeting. Or at least thought she did.
Right. Her very last text message, sent at 2:58 a.m. to Al Ayan.
To I. And then?
1 minute later, her phone power's off. Never turned back on.
1 minute. Wow, that's immediate.
Detectives zeroed in on I fast. The phone records, obviously, but also an Instagram follow.
An Instagram follow?
Yeah, initiated from Mackenzie's account the day before. It helped lead them right to his house, which he'd listed as an Airbnb.
Airbnb, interesting. So they got warrants.
Multiple search warrants. Neighbors saw a lot of police activity, especially in the backyard.
Focusing on I makes total sense. The timing, the location, the phone off right after meeting him, the Instagram link, it all points there.
And what they found next, it's just horrific. Ai's neighbor finds these weird burned items in her garden, calls the police.
Burned items? Like what?
The report doesn't specify exactly what the neighbors saw, but it was enough to get police looking closer. Behind Ai's garage, they find this patch of dirt, recently disturbed.
Oh no.
They start digging, and they find human tissue, bone fragments, charred fabric.
Oh my God.
And what looked like part of a human scalp, with hair still attached.
This is beyond comprehension.
Elsewhere on the property, they find Mackenzie's personal stuff, burned. Her student ID included.
Her ID, so it's confirmed.
Forensics confirmed it. The remains in the backyard, they were Mackenzie Lueck's.
Unbelievable evil. And inside his car.
Strong smell of gasoline.
Gasoline, okay.
Yeah.
So missing person case is now definitely a homicide. The burned remains, her things, the gasoline smell.
Understanding.
Overwhelming evidence.
But when they picked Ai up, guess what?
He denied it.
Denied even knowing her. Despite the phone records clearly showing they were in contact, met up.
The denial is just brazen.
So June 26th, police get another warrant. They go back to his house. This time, it's a massive search. Cadaver dogs, forensics teams, excavation equipment, the works.
Pulling out all the stuff.
Then, July 2nd, facing all this pressure, the forensic evidence piling up, Ai makes a move. Through his lawyer,
A confession.
he directs police to another location.
Yeah.
And yes, confesses. Says after she was inside his house, he bound her, zip ties and rope, strangled her.
Horrific detail.
He admitted discarding some of her stuff in the Jordan River, burying her in his backyard. Then the next day, going back with gasoline.
The gasoline neighbor smelled.
Exactly. Neighbors remembered that strong chemical smell, saw him near a fire pit with a red gas can, the same can found in his car.
So he burned the body in the backyard first.
Seems so. Then, following his new directions on July 3rd, searchers go way north, Logan Canyon, about 85 miles from Salt Lake.
Why Logan Canyon?
He led them there. Wooded clearing, another shallow grave. They found more charred remains.
Oh God, he moved her.
Yes, and the zip ties were still binding her arms.
Unbelievable cruelty.
And phone records. They placed IE right there in Logan Canyon on June 25th.
June 25th, that's the day before the police first contacted him.
Exactly. Looks like he panicked when things started closing in, dug her up, drove north, and reburied her to hide it better.
His confession probably calculated, right? Maybe to avoid the death penalty, but it laid bare the horror of what he did, moving her body. But his phone tracked him. Digital footprint got him.
The case moved to court. October 7th, 2020. Ola IE pleads guilty.
To what charges exactly?
Aggravated murder, desecration of a human body.
Desecration too.
Yeah. And he also pleaded guilty to assaulting another woman, someone he met on a dating app back in 2018. She came forward after hearing about Mackenzie.
Another victim. Shows a pattern. The evidence must have been absolutely overwhelming.
Irrefutable. Prosecutors had considered the death penalty, but the guilty plea meant Mackenzie's family didn't have to go through a trial.
A small mercy in a terrible situation, perhaps? Did he say anything? Show remorse.
He gave an apology in court, but the DA called it hollow.
Hollow. Doesn't surprise me.
October 23rd, 2020. Sentencing. Life in prison, no possibility of parole. Plus 5 extra years for the desecration.
Life without parole. He won't hurt anyone else. But the motive. Did they ever figure out why?
That question mark still hangs there. No definitive motive was really established. Prosecutors suggested it was about fulfilling some kind of dark fantasy.
A fantasy. Just senseless. A guilty plea brings legal closure, but no real answers for the why. And knowing he assaulted someone else before just highlights his predatory nature.
Mackenzie's dad, he talked about the impact, said, "I will never have the opportunity to see her blossom in life."
Heartbreaking. Utterly heartbreaking.
Her cousin called it a nightmare you can't wake up from. But you know, even in this horror, Mackenzie's life, who she was, the traces she left, they did lead to the truth.
They led to justice in the end.
Yeah, this is just such a stark, terrible reminder of the hidden dangers that can exist. The importance of being aware, without living in constant fear.
It really makes you think about the complexities of people and how vital the justice system is, even when it can't answer every question.
Absolutely. And if you want to keep exploring these kinds of important, often complex stories with us, please think about subscribing to my YouTube channel. We do these deep dives regularly, trying to understand the world of true crime.